All right, and we're live. Boom, we're back. UnAthletic Podcast. Everybody, welcome. Episode 3. We're back with another read and weep, best in the game. All right, how you doing, brother?
Doing good, baby.
Someone
We
don't
had
want to
some
answer the phone. You know, little
hurt.
hiccups.
Huh?
I'm kidding.
We don't talk about no phones
All
here.
right, yeah, I got you.
No phone. Phone bad.
All right,
Phone lead to bad thing. But good
we had
football. Good football.
yeah,
Good football.
pretty crazy divisional round, I would say. Closer than I thought, at least for the one that
Way
I
better
cared
than the
about.
wild card. That
Definitely.
shit's
Yeah, a
ass.
lot of blowouts and shit. All right,
Only
well,
one blowout this time.
real quick, give me your impression of the divisional round. How it went for you in your eyes.
Um, I'm gonna go with surprising. Let's go with surprising.
I'm gonna go with the results were what we thought they were, but how the results occurred is what
Yeah.
shocked everybody.
I was thinking of
essentially.
one word. I was very surprised with how some people played.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we know where we're going with that. That one. It's really one game, right? And so
Well,
start
there
off
was only
with
one
yeah,
masterclass, and it was the Ravens.
yeah, which lead right into
What
that
we
one.
expected.
Yeah,
So,
Baltimore Ravens versus the Houston Texans. L-Jack, MVP, basically they took care of business. Did what we thought they were gonna do.
He had 100 yards rushing and like 200 some yards passing.
Yeah,
Almost 200 yards passing.
he had 4
I don't
total touchdowns.
remember.
Dude was ridiculous.
No, he only had 152 yards passing, but still.
Yeah. I mean, he still had 250 all-purpose yards, and he had 4 total touchdowns. That's as good
Yeah,
as the
4 total
game.
touchdowns. I don't give a fuck how many yards you got. You got the ball in the
Exactly.
end zone 4 times.
And it's like
you know?
we haven't seen this from Lamar Jackson really in the playoffs. So the fact that we've just been able to see this is a good sign, essentially, for them.
Yeah.
Like, despite, because we knew the Texans didn't have enough, and you could tell in the game when watching, we were getting hype off C.J. Stroud completing a third down, and then what happened after that? They got clamped, right?
Yeah.
Like C.J. Stroud made some throws that were like, okay, yeah, he is him, but you can just tell, they're outmanned. They
They
didn't
were
have
definitely
enough.
just outclassed.
Yeah, they didn't have enough. And then, I mean, if we're going off that game, they are what we thought they were heading into the playoffs, Super Bowl favorites. So,
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
will say, though, like, for that offense to put up 0 points is a little disappointing, but they were just across the board, just fucking. It
Yeah, and
wasn't close.
that Ravens
talent-wise,
defense is ridiculous.
So I think they're the best defense in the playoffs as far as like completeness.
Yeah.
But
I agree. Because I think their secondary is phenomenal, along with their linebacker core, and then you have a great
yeah,
secondary. I mean, and Ravens D lines always get home at some point. So
yeah, and I mean that's not even like just like the Ravens D line is like coached well. Like they actually have like dogs on that D line.
yes,
Like
they do.
Madubuike is really really good.
Yep. All right, and then I mean that's enough.
And then they have 2 of the top 3 linebackers in the league.
Yeah, I agree. Roquan Smith and fucking Patrick Queen.
Who let
Yeah,
that happen?
nasty.
Oh, I
The
do know who let that
Bears.
happen. The Bears.
Fucking idiots. God damn it. They're about to go crazy in the draft though. Hopefully. Real quick, we're not going to talk about this. I just want a yes or no. Do you think the Bears keep Jay Fields? I don't think they do. I don't think you can. Everybody loves Caleb Williams.
Oh, here's the thing with this is why they're not. And it's not because Justin Fields or Caleb Williams are drastically different in skill level. Because, I mean, we obviously don't know if Caleb Williams
I
is
think
better
in
than what
terms of
Justin
throwing
Fields
the
is.
football and playing the quarterback position, I think you can at this point in time.
I mean, yeah, like Caleb Williams looks better, but you never know.
Yeah, and it's college.
But
at the end
Caleb
of the day.
Williams will be on a rookie contract. Justin Fields, regardless of how good or bad you think he is going to make probably Daniel Jones money. So
Yeah,
you go with the draft
they
pick.
definitely have decisions.
You have the first
I'd
pick.
go with quarterback.
You went 7 and 10, and you have the first overall pick. You take this advantage. You take the QB that you want, which is going to be Caleb Williams, on his rookie contract. And then they also have another top 10 pick, I believe, or
think
another
it's
like
3.
high pick.
I think it's
They
3.
don't have 3. 3 is the Patriots.
Oh,
But it's like lower top 10 or just outside of the top 10. I don't remember. You take either another receiver to pair with DJ Moore, because there's a lot of receivers in this
Oh,
draft
9.
class.
Yeah, I'm stupid. They have 9.
Yeah. You either take another receiver in this draft class, because there's a lot, or you take an O lineman, or you take a pass rusher. So I see no reason why they don't take Caleb Williams first, unless they want to trade the pick. But then you have to re-sign Justin Fields, which is going to
Yeah,
cost a lot of money, where you could spend that money elsewhere.
definitely.
So
All right, and then heading into the second game of last weekend, Detroit versus Tampa. I mean, pretty close game. Pretty decent to watch. It wasn't horrible. Both teams kind of were grinding the game
yeah,
out.
I mean, I watched this game like all the way through because I was pretty interested in how Baker Mayfield would play.
And he played good. He played clean, to be honest. I mean, outside of like, yeah, he threw
was
2
very up, and he
picks.
threw 2
Yeah,
picks. Like the this team is just really weird, in my opinion, because I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. Because most teams live and die through something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't know. Like the Ravens, kind of like their offense kind of lives and dies through Lamar because
Yeah,
they don't
definitely.
have elite weapons. The Niners' offense kind of lives and dies through Christian
The
McCaffrey.
run game. Yep.
Like running the ball. I would say the Lions are pretty similar, but the Lions are also probably the most two-dimensional offense in the playoffs.
Outside of
They
us,
can
yeah.
kind of rely on both. And then, I mean, the Packers this playoffs have relied heavily on Aaron Jones' legs to like give them momentum on offense. The Chiefs, it's Pat Mahomes, obviously. The Bills, it's Josh Allen.
I mean,
I
looking at
don't
this
know
game,
where the Bucks find their live and die, and I feel like it's Mike Evans,
but
and you
they didn't
can't
want
live
to.
and
They
die
didn't
through a
want to extend it.
receiver.
They didn't want to extend him either, so he's not going to be there next year
Yeah, I
if they
don't
don't sign
understand
him. Yeah.
that.
Well, he's just getting
Why
old.
they didn't
I can
re-sign
see
him.
it, but I don't agree with it. I don't agree
He's
with it at
still a
all.
top 10
Yeah,
receiver in the
definitely.
league. He is
1,000-yard Mike.
he is the model of consistency for receivers in the league right now.
He
And the
is.
thing is, if he leaves, right, what is the #1 destination for a receiver this offseason? The Chiefs.
Yep.
Or the Ravens. So you're telling me the two teams in the AFC Championship, which, depending on who you ask, are probably the two best teams in the playoffs. It obviously depends who you ask. The Niners are still good, but obviously depends who you ask. Are going to get a Mike Evans potentially. Like, what? But
I could see that happening.
besides the point with
Me
the
with this
Bucks.
Bucks team, I mean, listen, we don't like Baker. We said it last episode, right? We didn't.
The
We
fact
don't
that this
really like
Bucks
Baker.
team won a playoff game, I will give them all the credit in the world for, because coming into the season, all we remember from last season was Panthers Baker Mayfield. He was terrible on the Panthers. The Panthers were terrible. He comes to this team. We expect the Bucks to not be good. Like, we expected the Bucks to be like the worst team in that division at the end of the season. And they came in, won the division, and won a playoff game. So you have to say the season was a success, even if Baker didn't have the best game. And even with a bad game, it was a one-possession game.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, he's been in 4 playoff games, right? He's played in his career so far. Obviously on the Browns where he won a game, and then 2 with the Browns, and then 2 here with the Bucks. He's been pretty good. He's been good in the playoffs, right? It's just, and he's played good throughout this year. And he honestly, this version of Baker Mayfield is, you can win with him. Now, Super Bowl contender probably not, because like we've seen Baker's talent. It's limited. But when he plays clean, where he doesn't feel like he needs to be the guy, he's a good quarterback. He's a serviceable quarterback. And look at it. He, like, regardless of the NFC South, right? Regardless of how bad we think that division is and how fraudulent that division is, he still won it, right? And I'm pretty sure majority of people thought the Saints were probably going to take it. I think people, when people saw Baker sign with the Bucks, it's like, okay, bro, like, this is it. There's points in the time where people thought Kyle Trask was going to take over instead of Baker, and they were going to compete, and Baker is going to be a backup. But I mean, overall throughout this year, I mean, I think he was good. The way he's playing is good. That defense, I mean, is good, right? So now the question is, should they extend him? I think they should. I don't think they have a choice, to be honest. Where else are they
Yeah.
going to go?
You don't have a choice.
Yeah, and
You
he
have
took your
to.
team. He won your team a playoff game, and he took your team to the playoffs. So it's like, I think you extend him. I think he's worth the money, right? In terms of the quarterback he is.
With the options available, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
he's definitely
and
worth
yeah, you're
extending.
not going to be in the. You made the playoffs, so you're not going to be in the drafting position to get a high-end rookie quarterback, right? And then look at the market. There's no one
There's
probably going to be available that's better than Baker. So, yeah, I think Bucks have something, to look forward to. Now, if they don't re-sign Mike Evans, which they didn't extend him, so that's a sign they're really on the edge
I
about
think
it.
there's two big question marks with the Bucks next year because they're gonna re-sign Baker, right?
Yeah.
Might have no Mike Evans, and the offensive coordinator left. He's the Panthers head coach now.
Yep.
So how will he be with a new OC depending on who they bring in? I don't know who they're going to bring in, obviously. So, because I think that the Bucks offensive coordinator had a lot to do with Baker's resurgence this year. So,
I agree.
be interesting to see if what he does without arguably the two biggest influences in his improvement this year. So, or his resurgence.
Now over
But
to the winning side of the ball, right? Jared Goff, Detroit Lions, dude. What a fucking team, and what a
he
season
was
from.
slinging it. But
Hell yeah. Dan Campbell. Let's talk about him first. Dan Campbell, holy shit, what a coach, bro.
people's
The
coach,
definition of a
coach of the
player's
year
coach, bro.
candidate.
Yeah.
I mean,
They just love playing for him, bro. And he's a dude. He was talking about biting kneecaps off and shit, dude. Like, you gotta tip it. You gotta give him tip, right?
yeah.
You gotta give him. You gotta tip your hat towards him because he.
From the 0-16 Lions to the first Lions team to win a playoff
And
game
who
in
fucking knew
damn
that
near 30
yeah, it
years.
would be with Jared Goff and they had Matt Stafford for fucking 10 years. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
the reject of the Rams that they got
Yeah.
rid of to win a Super Bowl, and now they have a chance to make a Super Bowl this weekend.
So I mean, listen, the story with Goff, listen, when he is protected and unbothered, he carves defenses up. He plays clean, dude, when he's protected. Now the problem is the team he's going to see in Santa Clara, they have a tendency to bother quarterbacks, right? So I'm
It'll be
happy
a
for
big
Goff.
test because
I'm very interested to see how he is because he doesn't have a very good
he struggled
track
against the
record.
Niners when he was on the Rams, did
Yeah,
he not?
no,
So
he definitely did. He definitely did.
yeah,
He
it'll be a big test for him.
yeah, and you can arguably say that he had a better offense.
Um,
He definitely had a better head coach.
that year they made the Super Bowl.
I mean, they had
Todd
what? Yeah, they had
Gurley,
an MVP in Todd
Cooper
Gurley,
Kupp,
and then they had a whole bunch of weapons.
Robert
That's when
Woods.
Rob Woods was good, and that
Who's the
defense
other
was
receiver
insane.
on that team? They had Brandon Cooks. Did they have another receiver?
I don't know. I just remember those like
Brandon
core
Cooks,
guys.
Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp.
But
I don't remember.
yeah, the story
I
about
mean,
and then that running back duo we've already talked
Jahmyr
about.
Gibbs is.
Nasty.
I feel like Jahmyr Gibbs kind of blew this game open for them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like he had, he only had 74 yards rushing, but that was only on 9 carries. He was averaging 8.2 yards per carry. That's
Because they throw him the ball and he splits like
yeah, and he
carries.
had 4 for 40.
Yeah, and he splits carries with David Montgomery.
He had less carries than David Montgomery and double the yards
Yeah.
almost. No, more
So
than double the yards actually. Can't math.
like this team's
So,
good. They're very gritty,
and then the
right?
receiving core is very good.
Amon-Ra is
Amon-Ra is a top 5 receiver in the league,
PPR king,
probably.
bro. PPR fucking
Sam
king.
Laporta is a top 4 tight end.
Yep. Rookie, by the way.
Jamison Williams is a big play. It's fucking
Explosive play. Yeah.
4-4 receiver.
He can break the game open.
Josh
Definitely.
Reynolds is serviceable. Like, Bears have a really good offense. Good O-line. They're just really good. Good OC and Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Which, if they lose him this year, I'll be interested to see what happens next year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Yeah, good
just
team.
overall good team, clean game.
And I
And we'll see
mean,
how
they
they
made
do.
the NFC Championship, so I would say this season is
A
a
big
success
dub.
for them,
Yeah, big dub.
regardless of what happens in Santa Clara tomorrow.
All right, now probably like what the biggest topic heading into this divisional round.
Definitely
Yeah,
the
Kansas
top
City
two
Chiefs,
quarterbacks, quote unquote,
yeah, versus the Buffalo Bills.
our favorite matchup.
I said it episode. I'm gonna say it again. I just trust Mahomes and Andy Reid more than I trust really anybody in the NFL. But more than I trust heading into this matchup, I trusted them more than I trust Josh Allen and Sean McDermott. That's all I needed. When I saw the matchup, I'm like, you know what? Chiefs. Allen cannot beat the Chiefs. It's just it doesn't happen. Hasn't happened. And so I yeah, that's all I kind of expected this. Now it was close, obviously, questionable decisions on both sides for each team, but I that's all I got to say. I just trusted Andy Reid and Mahomes more than I trusted Josh Allen.
Yeah, like this game was just weird. So like Josh Allen almost threw the ball 40 times. He didn't have over 200 passing yards, right? When you think of like the Bills throwing the ball, they're usually like a high flying team. You're telling me Josh Allen's completing 26 passes, almost throwing 40, doesn't have over 200 yards passing? It's just weird. I mean, he was running all over the Chiefs, to be fair,
Yeah.
but
I saw someone say the reason, okay, so before their offensive scheme was through Josh Allen, let him be the superhero, regardless of the result. Whether he makes the bad mistakes, like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you seeing? Or like the superhero, plays where it's like, holy shit, he's up there with Mahomes, right? And now they're changing it into you're taking away his best attribute, which is him being a superhuman, right? And then you're switching the offense to maybe we don't need him to sling the rock 20 yards downfield. Let's get the run game going. Let's little check down here and there. And I feel like at the end of the day, you're just kind of putting him on a leash, right?
yeah,
Because like you
I don't
said,
know.
we've had weird games this year where the Bills win. Like Josh Allen isn't going crazy, but like how sustainable is that? You need your best player to be able to go crazy. That's how you
This
beat the
Bills
best
team has
teams.
just been weird.
Like
Even
never,
when they started winning down the stretch, they've just been weird.
like never at a point this year when you watch the Kansas City Chiefs play. No matter, we all agree they had an up and down year. They didn't have an insane year like they usually have, and so. But never ever once did you say you look at the Chiefs play and be like, oh, okay, they're changing the way they play. They're not playing through like the Chiefs always play through their quarterback,
Yeah,
Mahomes. They don't change the way they play. All their plays are designed to execute through Mahomes' talent. And I feel like with the Bills, they tried, you know, cutting down his talent just a little bit so he didn't make mistakes. But it's like when you have his talent, you got to live with the mistakes. But then that's also on Josh Allen, right? Because it's like sometimes you can't trust him because then he makes a bonehead play and it's like, okay, like why'd you do
yeah.
that? I don't know. Yeah, like you said, it's just weird. It's just
I
weird
don't
for
know.
me.
It's like
And
it
then the
just
Diggs Allen duo was off for like the last
yeah,
four
he had
weeks.
another
And
game where he essentially did nothing.
yeah,
3 for
it's like
21.
okay,
You just I don't know.
I don't know what
I think
happened.
Stephon Diggs won't be a Bill next year.
Yeah,
So
and then heading into next year, like bro, you lost to the Chiefs again, and they have
I think
Mahomes.
the Bills have
They have things to think about, to be
effectively
honest.
lost their championship window, honestly. Because if you look at it, they've blown a lot of money. Josh Allen's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. They paid someone who had 3 tackles this year a fuck ton of money.
Oh yeah, that
3.
that contract was bad. Contract's fucking
I
horrible.
believe they lost one of their DB. I think Micah Hyde is leaving. Like this team is slowly but surely falling apart due to contracts, injuries, age,
I
the
think,
whole like
and when you
thing.
lose to this Chiefs team over and over again, you got to think, bro. Like, I think he'll be the head coach going into next year, obviously, but homie's got to be on the hot seat. McDermott's got to be on it.
I think he's been on the hot seat ever since we just
You
have seen this
can't.
offense regress
Yeah.
with Brian Dable leaving.
And at some point, bro, something's got to give because you
So,
can't lose to the same team over and over again and be like, oh, okay, maybe next year. Like, you got to build your team to beat that team.
yeah. The thing is, though, this game was so winnable for the Bills, even with, I think they got outplayed pretty badly, honestly. Because if you really look at it, right, the only reason this game didn't go into overtime is because Tyler Bass missed a field goal, which is not his fault because the conditions were pretty bad. Like, it was really windy at the game, right? But you also look at it, they probably should not have been in a position to tie the game with a field goal. Because earlier on in the fourth quarter, there was the fake punt fiasco with Damar Hamlin, which effectively should have given all the momentum to the Chiefs to like win the game, right? At least you would think.
Yeah.
But then they drove down the field, and then McCole Hardman fumbled the ball out the end zone, and they turned it over. It was honestly a fiesta at the end of the game, and it looked like neither team knew what the fuck was going on. So, but
yeah, Kansas City, 6th straight AFC Championship game. Fucking shit. Can this team
but this was a good game for them.
get out of my
until the
face?
end, so.
Mahomes has been to the AFC Championship every year he's been a starter.
I mean,
Fuck
bro,
off. Go L, Jack.
he's just the best quarterback
God
in the
damn
league.
it. Yeah, it's not
Still.
close either. I can see the Tom Brady effect starting to happen with this motherfucker,
Like, even
bro.
in a down year, like this, bro. I mean, he wasn't like explosive in this game, but he was super efficient. He only had 6 incompletions, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. Travis Kelce had like a return to form game
Yeah,
with 2
he's back.
touchdowns.
Yep.
Isaiah Pacheco runs like he's trying to put a hole in the ground with his feet, bro. Like he just put on new shoes. Like,
It's just, yeah, you can never, anytime they're in the postseason, bro, it's like, oh shit. No, regardless of how their regular season went.
Kadarius Toney's not playing, so they're better.
Yeah, homie can't drop fucking 6 passes, 1 for a pick 6.
He's not playing tomorrow either, so Chiefs might win.
But yeah.
But
All right.
yeah,
Last game of the weekend, and holy shit.
it was a spicy
This
one,
game pissed
to
me
say the
off, but then
least.
also made me hype. So, San
I
Fran,
didn't know
the
what the hell was
Niners
going on in
versus the
this
Green
game.
Bay Packers. Props, I want to just lead this off, right? Because I'm a Niner fan, obviously, but props to the Green Bay Packers. I don't think anyone thought this game was going to go how it was. The Green Bay outplayed us the whole game.
90% of the game.
Yeah, for 3.5 quarters, they outplayed the Niners. We looked sloppy. It was raining, and then, yeah, so props to them, right? They control time of possession, which is something that the Niners usually dominate. Usually, like, majority of the time, we dominate time of possession. We got cleared in time of possession, right? And so props to them. Jordan Love looks very promising. Now, and I'm going to say that, but I'm going to hold my breath because I think people...
There is a but there.
We need
because
to chill on the Jordan Love just a little bit. I think we're
he
kind of getting
effectively
crazy.
lost them the game.
Like a cardinal rule as a quarterback is you don't run to your right and throw back into the middle field. You don't. That's just you don't do that.
Throw across your body.
And he threw across his body on the game-winning drive for a chance to win the game on a first down with 2 timeouts still, and he just threw an unnecessary throw that didn't need to be thrown, and he threw a pick, right, and lost the game essentially. But listen, people need to chill out on him a little bit. I think he's great, and I think they're lucky again for the quarterback they got that they sat behind Aaron Rodgers, back to back to back, right? But he didn't have he had a good year, right? But
he had a good back half of the year.
The last 5 games was him actually, going fucking crazy.
We forget that his beginning of the season was very up and down.
Yeah. And so I'm trying to see where the fuck this where it's coming from. Like, bro, don't say he had an insane year. Yeah, you can obviously just look at his stats and be like, okay, he had a really good year. Like he did. But those last 5 games is where he kind of took over.
After they lost to the Giants, he definitely started playing at an elite level.
You saw the upside, right? That everyone talked about.
I mean, you saw it all year, but then you would see games like he had against the Giants or against the Raiders before the Raiders, like Josh McDaniels Raiders, where he just looked really, really bad.
But just that the 5 game stretch heading into postseason, that's where you saw like his upside just peak, and you're like,
And then
okay,
against the Cowboys,
this
it's like,
guy, yeah, and then he
okay,
wins the playoff game, and he comes in the
yeah,
Levi's and plays good and clean. But let's just pump the brakes because people are talking about him like,
he's technically a rookie. Like,
yeah,
this
he
is his
is.
first
Let's
season.
just calm down. And so, but yeah, props to the Packers. This game was closer than I would have liked and what I expected. Like I said, we got outplayed 3.5 quarters, and then we just showed up on the last drive, which is going to segue into the next thing. Brock Purdy, listen, he struggles in the rain. We know. We've seen it twice now this year, right? He missed a lot of money throws that he usually hits. A lot, especially in the intermediate game. Like, I was scratching my head on a couple. I was like, holy shit. He's missing fucking 8 yard curl routes, bro. Holy. And then that one to Darnell Savage, that fucking dropped pick that would have been taken back to the house. I mean, yeah, you could say all of that. But I saw something. Here's why I'm not like freaking out. I saw something that I haven't been able to see all year. Him coordinate a game-winning drive where the other team knows we're gonna have to throw the ball.
All year, Kyle Shanahan's whole career.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, and then the Purdy hate, bro. Holy shit. It's pissing me
I
off.
mean, he's gonna
Cause
get hate until
yeah, I get
the end
like
of time.
I knew it was gonna like be a thing, right? But it's just the goalpost moving after every time. So heading into this year, like, oh, okay, we don't know if he can win. We don't know if he's good. If he performs statistically, he wins. Okay, it's because of the team around him. Oh, he's playing. He's a front runner. He plays with the lead, right? And so, and then he coordinates this game winning drive. Oh, it's because he played bad, right? Keep in mind, Debo got hurt, right? And then
That was a big loss
yeah, it
at the
was,
beginning of that
and
game.
thank God he's playing in the NFC Championship. But
Yeah, you guys need him.
I
He's a big
guarantee,
part of
right?
your offense.
I guarantee if the role hypothetically, if it was reversed, right, the way the game went for him, if he played good the entire game, and then that game-winning drive came down to it, and he failed, they shit on him. Like he plays bad, which by no means did he play good that weekend. I would say he played bad, but it's just frustrating because it's like, what do you want dude to do? It's like, okay, at this point it's a lose-lose, right? It's a lose-lose. He's never going to get the flowers because he has a good team around him, which I never knew when we started critiquing quarterbacks based off the talent around them. I don't get it. Every Hall of Fame quarterback played with greats, other Hall of Famers. Tom Brady had the greatest coach of all time, Randy Moss, Julian Edelman, arguably the greatest tight end ever, Rob Gronkowski, Wes Welker. And keep in mind, majority of Tom Brady's career, he had a top like 6, 7 defense every year of his career outside of like 3. So
Outside of the year they lost to the Eagles and his last year
yeah,
on the team, I think they
so
had like a top 2 defense.
I just he played bad. I'm not gonna say he played good. I'm not gonna try to say he played good, but at this point, it's like, what do you want him to do? You want to take away all the talent he has around him, put in fucking third strings, put Kyle Shanahan on a leave of absence, and bring in fucking our quarterback coach and see what he does. Maybe that'll be enough, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on that game?
So I think the Niners got obviously slightly lucky with a missed field goal and
Oh, we did,
2
yeah,
dropped interceptions, right?
definitely.
But that happens in a game. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, right? It was raining, so those things happened, right? I mean, we even saw, missed passes potentially because of the rain. So it's whatever it is. It's what it is. And I do think Brock Purdy in the first half looked pretty. I would say he looked
He
terrible.
bothered. Yeah,
Honestly, he
he
looked
was just
really
bothered.
bad
He
in
looked
the first half.
uncomfortable.
But he is on a great team, and this is not even this is not to his fault because I'm not going to hate on Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy's actually a pretty good quarterback. He's on a great team, and that great team kept him in the game. Simple as that. Christian McCaffrey is probably the single best offensive weapon in the league, and he had over 100 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns. and he kept them alive offensively, right? And while Brock Purdy had a pretty bad first half, he played good in the second half, right? And he had that really nice touchdown to George Kittle in the corner of the end zone to keep
Fucking
things
dot.
not out of reach in the first half,
Yeah.
even with his pretty abysmal first half.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just on the offensive side of the ball because, as you said, the Packers pretty much controlled time of possession for most of the game. But the defense held the Packers to 21 points.
I will say this real quick on the defense. Our defense is great. My defense has always been great, but people wanted to focus this game on Purdy's poor performance, which I mean definitely he's a quarterback. You cannot play that bad. But the defense looked weak, bro. It looked weak. Aaron Jones was running all over us.
Yeah,
He had 120 yards.
That's going to be my next thing.
Yeah.
108, but yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
But and while yes, like your defense was letting them drive down the field, the first half for the Packers, when they were arguably dominating the game, they were losing after the first half.
Yeah.
And the Niners didn't look good in the first half because field goal, field goal, field goal.
Those field goals were actually because red zone. All of them were in the red zone.
Yeah, well, obviously, but
Especially the first two.
3 field goals in the red
That
zone.
was huge. Yeah.
And if we just go back 1 week, what did they do against Dallas?
They scored. Yeah, they scored.
Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Where in this game, field goal, field goal, field goal, missed field goal.
Against great teams,
And
you
then
got
2
it. When you're in the
touchdowns.
red zone too, especially against
That is
really
the
good
difference
teams,
in this game,
you got to score.
And it is why I don't think it is fair to place or like make these excuses like, oh, they dropped 2 interceptions. One would have been a pick six. Oh, they missed a field goal. You made it to the red zone more than the 49ers did, right? By a large margin. The 49ers only made it to the red zone 4 times. Your team made it to the red zone 6 times. But the Niners scored more points in less red zone trips because you didn't score touchdowns. You scored 3 field goals and missed 1.
Yeah, settling
You
for
have
3.
to score touchdowns.
Settling for 3 against really good teams just isn't gonna cut it. You gotta score when you're in the red zone.
That was the difference this game. It was
Yeah.
not that they dropped an interception or 2 interceptions. It was that they did not convert on their red zone chances when they had them. And you can't do that against elite teams. You just can't.
Yeah.
But I will say, the fact that this Packers team won a playoff game with a QB who, before this, had only played like 2 games and was just sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, with an aging Aaron Jones who's dealt with injury problems all year, him having a resurgence in the playoffs with 2 really good games, and then your receiving core actually looks pretty solid at times, with Romeo Doubs and Jaden Reed, in my opinion, kind of being the shining stars.
And Christian
Of the
Watson,
back
bro.
end of this
Don't forget
season.
about him.
Christian Watson's super inconsistent.
But that's because that's the type of player he is. He's a big play receiver. He's not going to be the one to rely on, but he's the guy that can take one to the house.
Dobbs and Jaden Reed are like kind of the rocks. And
Yeah.
Jaden Reed, I believe, is their returner as well for punts. Yes, he is. So, but yeah, I think, and Luke Musgrave's like a decent tight end, but nothing special to write home about. But I think the Packers are trending in the right position. They'll get some decent things in the draft, and they'll compete with the Lions probably next year for the North again, NFC North. Yeah, and then I mean the fact that we finally, like you said, the Niners finally got to come from behind drive win.
I think it just puts
was-
confidence in the entire team knowing that they
Yeah.
can win like that because we haven't had to win like that the whole year.
mean,
Because we've blown everyone out we've beaten.
Yeah.
So it's people say they should be concerned. I'm really not. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not proud of how that game
You
went.
definitely have to come in better next week against the
Definitely.
Lions.
You can't come in lacking
but
like that.
You guys didn't have Deebo Samuel in this game, and I think Deebo,
He's gonna play. Yeah.
even if he does not put in stats, is a integral part of the offense.
Yeah. the way we
'cause he can
scheme
do
him,
everything.
because we line Debo and CMC in the backfield sometimes, and it's
Yeah.
then you got to worry about, okay, who's
Christian
going to carry the
McCaffrey is
ball?
him.
Yeah, he
So
is. He is.
he's
He is.
so good. I don't
And
understand
then
it.
that game-winning drive, my quarterback showed up, dot after dot. That slant route to Brandon Ayuk was absolutely disgusting. That ball was placed literally in the only spot it could be placed for him to catch that without it getting tipped, without it getting dropped. But yeah,
Yeah.
game-winning drive, happy, but definitely need to come in a little bit,
Just need to,
come in a little bit more hot in
tell
the first
Debo
half.
to play a little less hard. We don't need him getting injured every other fucking play. And
Nah,
then
that dude knows one speed, and it's
tell
fucking
Greenlaw he can ball hawk like Ed Reed, but motherfucker get down.
yeah, dude. I was screaming. I was like, "Get the fuck down, you idiot!"
He was having fun out there,
Talking
bro.
about pick six. I'm like, nah, bro. Fucking, he was
He's
doing
playing
swim
backyard
moves with the
football.
fucking ball like this. I'm like, dude,
He was holding that bit
if
like
you
Walter
fumble, I'm gonna headbutt a wall. The fuck are we
Payton.
doing? Go
But
down.
yeah,
But anyway,
overall good
yeah.
divisional weekend.
Okay, now
Leads us to
conference
the
championships.
championships.
Here we go. This is where trip for the Lombardi. Here we go. So we'll just start off with the Chiefs and the Ravens. This is gonna be insane. We might have a difference in opinions on this one.
The last time Lamar and Mahomes played each other, we had a masterclass game.
Yeah, and I think
And
this
I
one's gonna be
expect
yeah.
nothing different this one.
So I got Chiefs, right? 30-23 because it's the fucking Chiefs, bro. They're annoying as shit. They have the best quarterback in the league. They probably have the best head coach in the league. And what's the difference with the past 5 conference championships I've seen from the Chiefs? They have an elite defense. They have a top 3 defense. Some say this is the best defense heading in the NFL or in the NFL heading into playoffs. So I like I said, this is just a trust thing again. Mahomes and Andy Reid, and then Travis Kelce looks like he's back in time for the playoffs. So I got Chiefs 30-23. I love L. Jack. I would love L. Jack to win. Well, maybe not because I don't know how we match up against him, but I got Chiefs 30-23.
I'm not a Chiefs hater like a lot of people are. I like Pat Mahomes, and I like the Chiefs. I like all the players on the Chiefs, besides Kadarius Toney, but he's not playing.
Former
So
Giant
all's good.
did great things
No,
for your team. Yeah.
no. He had one good game against the Cowboys, in which we lost like 30-3 because Daniel Jones like almost died. But I'm gonna go Ravens, 27-23,
I'm not mad about that at all.
because I think the Ravens got hot at the right time, and they have obviously stayed hot against the Texans. They won by 34 points, gave up 0 points on defense. The only points they gave up were a return. So I think that they look pretty indomitable, honestly. And yeah, I think this is the year for Lamar and John Harbaugh to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And kind of silence the doubters of Lamar that he can't win a Super
I think
Bowl
this is
or
a
at
kind
least
of a
make it to
legacy
one.
thing for L. Jack, to be honest.
Yeah, because
Because the
since
biggest
he's won his
stigma,
MVP,
yeah, the biggest stigma
said
around
he's
him is
bad in the
playoffs.
playoffs.
Yeah, and he has been.
So
Like you can't just sugarcoat it. You can't walk around it. You can't ignore it. He has
yeah,
not. He
even if you
himself.
don't factor in his first game, like his rookie season where
Yeah,
he played against the Chargers and was
yeah.
really bad, he has been
Worse.
much worse in
Yeah.
the playoffs compared to the regular
Like he
season.
just has not played good. And I hate saying that because we both love Lamar Jackson. We think he's been underrated for quite a long time, right?
At least the last, not really his MVP year, but like after his MVP year, like when it all kind of shifted to the Josh Allen, Joe Burrow being
Shit.
like the
Justin
competitors
Herbert.
to
Yeah.
Justin Herbert, like those people being like the quote unquote competitors
Just forgot
to,
about Lamar, bro.
yeah, and then Jalen Hurts too,
Oh,
like
dude.
apparently being better than Lamar
Yeah,
Jackson.
we're not even gonna talk about that fucking fraud. But anyway.
I was never on that wave. That's the most fugazi thing on planet Earth.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. But I can obviously see either team winning. I think this has the potential to probably be the best game of the postseason, just as a whole. And yeah, I'm just hope that we get Lamar and Odell to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So
All right. And then into the NFC side of things, Niners versus the Lions. I got the Niners
this
27-14.
game, this game is weird
Yep.
because I feel like you guys are kind of super similar, but also very different. It's really weird.
I think this is just a game where, because like when you talk about Goff, he's like, okay, he played clean, right? He had time, he was comfortable, and so he's able. In this game, he can't just play clean. He has to make plays, and I don't know if he can do that. I haven't seen it, especially when he's matched up against our. Like I've seen him twice a year. I saw him twice a year for like 4 years straight, right? And when we've played him, it's just overall he just couldn't make plays at the end of the day, right? So I think for me the emphasis is this Niners defense giving up 100 plus yards to one running back, and Lions got two that can take it to the house. So I think that's where I'm a little nervous. I think Purdy will bounce back. It's not supposed to rain, so I think he'll be all right. CMC will do what CMC has done since forever when he's not hurt, which is be the best running back in the league. So, yeah, I got Niners 27-14. I think this Lions defense is a little sus, right?
That's the biggest question
Yeah.
mark for me in this game is the Lions defense.
And I saw something the Lions blitz a lot and play man coverage a lot, and Purdy against the blitz and under pressure and against man coverage is top 5. So I think that's the best thing about Purdy is that under pressure when they're sending the house, he delivers. So I just think we're gonna overwhelm this team. And I think once we get the lead, we'll do what we've always done, which is basically suffocate the game.
Yeah, this game is like it's so hard because on one hand, you guys match up really good against the Lions, but like if the Lions offense like gets going,
Hits that ceiling and breaks through it. Yeah.
like it doesn't really matter because their offense is just so
Explosive.
yeah, like explosive. I don't know if they're going to be able to get rolling though,
Yeah.
because their defense is just so
Overwhelming. We have our D line and then our
not
linebacker
even
core.
like obviously the Niners defense like is most likely going to not let them score 30 points, right?
Yeah.
But I just question the Lions defense so much because we have seen the Lions defense be solid. Like they were solid last week against the Bucks, but they still gave up like 23 points, but they had 2 interceptions. And then we've seen the Lions defense be kind of downright terrible. So it's like I don't even know. My gut tells me the Niners are probably just going to fucking steamroll this game and it's going to be kind of boring.
As a friend,
I
we
want
have said he feels like we're gonna cremate the fucking Lions.
Yeah, like I don't think this game is honestly going to be close, but I want it to be like a banger.
Like the potential of it, just because of how explosive their offense is and how explosive our offense is, it could be a shootout. But I just think our defense, at the end of the day, is gonna make a play. They're gonna make Goff
Yeah.
uncomfortable, which we've seen when he's uncomfortable, he's not a
That's
good
the only way the
quarterback.
Lions win is if it's a shootout, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Because not necessarily that the Lions have better offensive pieces, we have just seen the Lions be better in like shootout style games. Right? So, because I don't even think the Lions necessarily just have straight up better weapons. Like,
No, I think we have. I think it's inarguable that we probably have the best roster on paper in the NFL
yeah,
on both sides of the ball. But
I don't know. For the fun, I'm gonna say Lions 33-30.
that's crazy.
I think they're gonna make it a shootout and win.
No, I'll be depressed if that shit happens. Little heartbreaker.
I just want a good game. I don't
No,
really care
definitely.
who wins.
Yeah, definitely.
I think I would honestly probably prefer the Niners to win because
So
I
the Super Bowl
feel
is
like
better.
if the Ravens met the Lions in the Super Bowl,
They'd fucking
we would have a Seahawks Broncos situation.
fucking bend their ass over and just
Yeah, I
go
don't think
crazy.
that would be close at all.
No, definitely not.
Because if we think that like the Niners defense could potentially just lock up the um like the Lions offense, I feel like the Ravens defense would murder the Lions offense.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so I
And
mean,
it's not even just because like the Ravens defense is just straight up better than the Niners defense. I just think the Ravens have a slightly better secondary
no, I don't even think it's
and would
slightly. I
game
think
plan
we
against
have one corner, All Pro Mooney,
yeah.
got snubbed this year, but outside of him,
I mean, Tarvarius Ward's pretty good.
yeah, Mooney, All Pro Mooney. We call him Mooney
Huh?
because we call him Mooney.
Oh,
Tarvarius
I
Ward.
missed that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, when you said Mooney, I was thinking Darnell Mooney. I don't even think
Nah,
he's on the
nah,
Niners.
no, no,
What
no.
the hell am
Mooney,
I
All
on?
Pro Mooney. Tarvarius Ward. He was 5th in picks and 1st in pass breakups. So
Tarvarius Ward's really
snubbed. But outside of him, dude, it's PI kingdom. We get called PI so much. It's
good. Yeah.
fucking unheard of. But yeah, that Ravens secondary is probably, yeah, I could definitely say is better than ours.
I
But
mean, Kyle Hamilton and Marlon Humphrey are
yeah,
both really
they both had
fucking
picks in
good.
the Christmas game. So I think Kyle
Yeah.
Hamilton had 2, or Marlon Humphrey had 2. Either way.
Nah, Patrick Queen had one.
Oh. But yeah, should be
Where he almost fumbled.
pretty. Yeah, should be pretty. Pretty good conference championship weekend. Both
Yeah.
games tomorrow, so
I
should be
I
fire.
worry that they might not be for some reason.
If LJ gets blown out, my heart will actually crumble. I'll get so
I
mad.
won't watch the Super Bowl if LJ gets blown out. I'll be depressed on
Yeah,
so many levels.
yeah, yeah. So, and then to kind of end things on a different topic, but same
Talk about
NFL world. Jimmy Harbaugh to the
He's
Chargers.
back.
I love this hire so much.
We
It's not even
missed him.
funny. I'm so happy he's back in the NFL. I'm glad he got his natty in college. He deserved it. Long time coming. You know.
He also brought his defensive coordinator with him, apparently, or he's
Yeah.
going to.
You know, former Niner, so I got nothing but love for him. He reignited the flame of the Niner org after a pretty couple dark years. So I don't know. I'm glad. I think this is
I'm gonna
really.
break this down.
I think this is good for Herbert. I think this is good for him.
W.
Yeah. I love this, without a doubt.
Now, let's break this down, right? Jim Harbaugh had what was it 4? How long was the stint with the Niners? Was it 4 or 5 years?
I think I want to say 2011
It was 2011 to
to
what? 2015.
2015, I think.
So 4 or 5 years, whatever,
Yeah,
right?
and it was a
That
pretty
doesn't really
dominant
matter.
run.
So let's go to 2010, the year before he was there, right? The Niners with Alex Smith went 6-10, right? And you want to know how bad they were? And how bad Alex Smith was? The fans were chanting to put in David Carr.
Yeah,
David Carr. A certified bum, right?
yeah.
So you guys were by all accounts terrible that year, right? Your only shining star was who had been the shining star for a couple of years at that point was Frank Gore.
Frank
And
the
then
Tank.
you hire Jim. You guys come in, win 6 straight, the first 6 games of the season, in the lockout year in 2011, where you're playing with not even your complete roster at times, right?
Yeah,
And you guys go 13-3 and make the NFC Championship game. And Alex Smith has arguably the best season of his career, or one of the best seasons of his career. Going to next year, right? You guys obviously don't make the Super Bowl. You lose in the NFC Championship game. But you made an NFC Championship game after going 6-10 in your first year with Jim Harbaugh.
yeah.
So Jimmy is doing something correct, right? Because he took essentially the same roster, went from 6-10, 13-3. Okay?
You're
What
a
does he
fucking
do the
idiot.
next
Shut
year,
up, dude.
right? What does he do the next year, Mr. Donovan? You guys have Alex Smith, right? He's playing the best football of his career at the beginning of this season. Then he gets hurt.
Yeah, he had a problem sliding.
Yeah.
He dove
But
with his
guess
head.
what?
K-Cap.
Jimmy had a secret weapon.
C-Cap, yep. Colin
Colin
Kaepernick.
Kaepernick.
This dude came out of nowhere, bro.
Because,
Holy
Alex
shit.
Smith gets injured. When your starting quarterback gets injured, you kind of think, oh,
It's
fuck, the
chalked,
season's
yeah.
over, right?
Everyone in their right mind thinks the season's chalked.
But then this dude, Colin Kaepernick, comes in, ass blasts the Rams.
Fucking start doing that shit, yeah. Kissing the
And
bicep.
then
That fucking stupid ass
you
shit.
guys walk into Green Bay in the playoffs out
Slap
of the
him around.
fucking dipshit quarterback Aaron Rodgers. And then you guys are in the Super Bowl.
Oh my god. Don't do it.
And you guys obviously lost the Super Bowl.
It was a holding. It was a holding.
The lights turned off. Ain't no one know
Motherfuckers.
what was going on, right?
Fucking bullshit. Holding on that last play.
We're
Never
gonna get a
forget it.
rematch.
Never
Ooh,
forgive.
baby.
Yeah, we're gonna
But,
win this one.
But he took them to the Super Bowl with the backup quarterback in their second year.
Yeah.
You
I
think
think
to yourself,
what
damn.
3 NFC championship trips in a 4 or 5 year span. So I mean, it got a trip to the Super Bowl. So I mean, his track record, he wins wherever he
Yeah,
goes.
and then he made it to the NFC Championship again, but you guys lost to the Seahawks.
Yeah, against the Legion of Boom. So yeah, he wins wherever he goes. I love this because two things. One, Jim
And you got to
Harbaugh.
think he's going to do the same thing with this team because this is another
Yeah.
great team that is just underperforming. Shit, the Chargers are going to go
Yeah.
13-3.
I
Make
just
it to the NFC
it's
Championship.
just unfortunate that they're in the division
Right.
they're in, right? Obviously the Chiefs. But I mean, one of two things. Harbaugh usually has a pretty good close relationship with his quarterbacks, which I think in the nowadays in the NFL, it's good to have that catered towards the most important position. And then the second thing is, I think often Jim Harbaugh's offense will rely less on Justin Herbert. I think because Harbaugh's offense is usually catered towards the run.
Eckler's definitely going to have a resurgence year.
Yeah, so I think because I feel like Joe Staley or Brandon Staley. What the fuck? It's Brandon Staley, Joe Staley, Niner. Anyway,
Joe Staley's the left
yeah,
tackle.
Hall of Fame left tackle. Yeah, from the Niners. Yeah, Brandon Staley. I don't know. He didn't call the offenses, so I'm not. But I feel like they just put so much on Justin Herbert's plate. It's like, dude. At the end of the day, he's not Patrick Mahomes.
Coach. Yeah.
And so I just love this all around. And I think this is gonna spark something in that Chargers team because, bro, on paper, this team for the last like 3 years,
They have a top 10 roster arguably
yeah,
on paper.
bro, I don't
and they
get it.
underperform constantly.
I just don't get it. And I want this team to be good because I love Justin Herbert, bro. I think he's insane.
There's no reason this team should not be making the playoffs at like minimum like 10, 11 wins. Honestly. They should at least be making the playoffs.
Yeah,
Like,
but
there's no reason they shouldn't be. So
yeah,
I think they will now with Jim. So
the only thing I think that's gonna hold them back is just the division they're in, and it sucks that they're in a division with Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, they're
Unfortunately,
probably not gonna win the division, but they should at least get second in
Yeah.
the division.
because what
Because I
Raiders
still don't think the Raiders are that good.
and the Broncos get out of here with that
And
shit,
the
bro. I'm
Broncos are
sorry.
fucking terrible.
They're gonna fucking Russ isn't gonna play for them, bro. I don't care.
No, he's gone.
Yeah,
They're
but-
gonna draft fucking Bo Nix and suck ass. Fuck cares?
You're right. All right.
Team's terrible. It'd be even funnier
Nice.
if they draft JJ McCarthy. That'd be fucking hilarious.
If they draft that fucking nerd, I swear to God, I'm just kidding. All love to him. Won the Natty. Listen, we're not here to hate on.
Shit, bro.
Natty winner.
Let me get up there.
Not
and run
shut
that
the
back
fuck
five.
up. No, absolutely not.
Oh, you want it to the left?
All right, but yeah, nice little divisional round overview. You know, we got 2 conference championship games tomorrow to decide who's going to Lombardi, who's going to Las Vegas to hoist the Lombardi.
We're almost there.
Jim Harbaugh, the Chargers, we both love it. So
Too
I mean,
bad
if-
there's a 1 week break between these and the Super
Yeah,
Bowl for the
bro.
useless ass Pro Bowl.
yeah, no, fuck that. I hate the Pro Bowl. But
It's just so in the way.
and it's like, dude, what makes sports so fun? It's competitive and everyone tries. What's shitty about every fucking all-star Pro Bowl version of a sport? No one fucking tries. They all there
The
just
issue
to
with the Pro Bowl is that it's at the end of the year. So it's fucking like who cares? Like half of the best players aren't in it because they're in the Super Bowl. A lot of the other players opt out of it because they're getting end of the year surgery that they've been putting off for like 5 weeks. Other players like I don't even want to fucking play in this shit.
It's
What's the
like, bro,
point? It's
I'm not.
like
I don't. I'm not
just
gonna
move
turn
this or
on.
get rid of it.
I'm not
It's
gonna
so
turn on my
useless.
TV to do like little fun football, like arcade games that I can do in my backyard. I want to watch motherfuckers at the highest level play football. I can't do what they do.
No, the problem with it is just it's at the end of the season when no
Yeah,
one fucking cares. Like the NBA All-Star game is in like the middle of the season.
yeah.
And it's like an all-star break, right? This is just at the end of the year with no fucking purpose on planet Earth to just be like, oh, fun game with players that fans voted in, and it's like no one has cared about this shit for years.
But yeah,
Like the
I
dodgeball
don't
they
care.
play is more hype than the fucking game.
I just problem with it is like the Pro Bowl rule. It's just like a fuck around event. I'm happy the players go and have fun, but like for me as a viewer, I'm like I really don't care because no one's fucking trying.
The
No one's
players
doing
don't even
anything.
care about it.
Yeah,
They're just like there. The only
yeah,
reason they are there is because they get paid to be there,
yeah,
bro.
exactly. So, but outside of
But
that, we got a fun weekend.
yeah, I hope the games are
Better
good.
be fun for me. I swear to God. But
Yeah, I
yeah.
have no stakes in this besides Odell. Please win. But
But yeah, if you don't got anything else, you got anything else you want to talk about?
um, no.
All right, Gay. And that's it. We'll close this one out. That's episode 3 in the books. On to the next
Here.
one. We out this bitch.
We'll see you guys next week.